Hey guys, this is John Ward, and it's been a while. I know I did some of these videos to help defeat the sales tax referendum, and we did great. We won that vote 70% opposed, 30% for. And unfortunately, we're not done with the sales tax because unfortunately, this sales tax was never legal to place on the ballot anyway. And that is just continued demonstration that the leadership of the county with the county commission and the county attorney just isn't where it needs to be. And I'm going to explain this to you guys. So in April of 2022 and August of 2022, the county attorney drafted an ordinance, and that's the ordinance that's showing on the screen right now, that says they're going to place on the ballot the transportation surtax. And there's basically three criteria that a county should meet, one of the three, in order to be eligible to levy the surtax. You can be a charter county, which Walton County is not. You can be a consolidated county, and a consolidated county is a county where the city or town and county have merged. So really, the only example of a consolidated county is Duval County, where Jacksonville and Duval County are one and the same. And the last is if you're part of a regional transportation or regional transit authority. And there are a good number of counties that are members of those regional transportation authorities. Walton County was a member of the Northwest Florida Transportation Corridor Authority. The last meeting that took place of this transportation authority was in September of 2018. And at that September of 2018 meeting, the Corridor Authority, which had representatives of all of the counties, there were 8 counties that were part of it, mainly in the Panhandle, they voted to become inactive. And then in the 2021 transportation bill, which Governor DeSantis signed into law in June and went into effect July 1st, the Northwest Florida Transportation Corridor Authority was dissolved. So it no longer existed. And that was effective July 1st of 2021. Almost actually more than a year before the actual referendum took place, and 9+ months before the county passed the ordinance to place it on there. So that's definitely concerning. At the January 24th Board of County Commission meeting, County Attorney Clay Adkinson said that they had authority to levy it, and he referenced this book here, which is the 2021 Florida Tax Handbook. This handbook was published in October of 2021. Even though he states that this is a Department of Revenue document, it is not a Department of Revenue document. It is from the Office of Economic Development and Research, which is actually under the Florida legislature. Obviously, the legislature is the one who's in charge of interpreting statutes, not the Department of Revenue. In the notes section of this document, which is very important, it says all estimates and projections used in the handbook are based on a series of estimating conferences held in July and August of 2021. Additional conferences will be held in the fall and the winter that will revise many of the estimates and projections. They basically tell you right up front that this is not a definitive document and it will change. And they actually tell you how to check back. Then if you are actually a local government body, here in where it's discussing section 3, it says that the local government financial information handbook, for a more comprehensive description of local government revenue sources, refer to the local government financial information handbook, which can be accessed here. This is the link you click to check the local government financial information handbook. which would be a very handy dandy resource to say. Now, at this January 24th meeting, Mr. Adkinson says that there was nothing else that came out after the tax handbook, and that there was nothing that they had, nothing available to them. Now, I want you to note that I've just showed you in the handbook that they say they got their authority from. It says to check back for updates, and says, oh yeah, if you're a county government, look here because this is a better resource for you. Let's see what the 2021 county government handbook says. Okay, so I'm here at page 175 of the county government handbook, and this is specifically addressing the Charter County and Regional Transportation System Surtax. It kind of explains a summary of what it is and general law amendments. Okay, what has changed in the law that impacts this? Chapter 2021-188 dissolves the Northwest Florida Transportation Corridor Authority by repealing Part 3 of Chapter 343. Consequently, the chartered counties of Bay, Escambia, Franklin, Gulf, Okaloosa, Santa Rosa, and Walton, which are served by the authority, are no longer eligible to levy this surtax. Although Wakulla County, which is also served by the authority, is still eligible to levy the surtax because it's also a charter county. This change became effective on July 1st, 2021. So as of July 1st, 2021, Walton County was no longer eligible to levy the surtax. That means even if before July 1st, 2021, we had gotten together and passed a referendum and said we were going to, the term levy indicates that the authority to collect it also goes with that. So a lot of the things that, if you watch that January 24th meeting that Mr. Adkinson says about being grandfathered in, he said, you know, because it kept coming up. And they finally got to admit that the transportation corridor was dissolved on July 1st, 2021. But he spoke a lot of legal gobbledygook, saying, well, like he basically provided a defense that because the Department of Revenue didn't tell Walton County that they couldn't have this on the ballot, and which they can. Apparently you can put anything on the ballot. It just may be unconstitutional or unlawful. They rely on a competent county government receiving competent legal advice. And we can see that the county government did not receive competent legal advice, because as of July 1st, 2021, Walton County was no longer eligible. And the county and the county attorneys either knew or should have known with the publication of this resource in November of 2021. The question we all need to answer is, did they intentionally know that they didn't have the authority to do it and then wanted to do it anyway? I think with all of the missteps that this county is in, I think the answer becomes incompetence is only a portion of it. I think some of it is gross negligence or intentional misleading of the people. I know this surtax on the referendum took up a lot of people's time and energy and effort, both on the opposing it, Walton County Taxpayer Association, and all the people who even gave their money. I mean, the $170,000 that was raised to try to push it. Those people should be mad about this, because the county shouldn't have even given them the hope that this was an option. And it is important, if by chance they had been able to convince the voters to pass this, there are serious consequences for collecting a tax that is later deemed to be unconstitutional or unlawful. And you can see that from what happened to Hillsborough County. This is an article in the Tampa Bay Times from this week. Hillsborough County, which is under a regional transportation authority, levied a 1-cent sales tax in 2018, and it was found unconstitutional in 2021 due to the language on the ballot. And while they collected $570 million over those 3 years, they actually made plans to spend that money. But Governor DeSantis said, no, you can't do that. He's filed a bill that is going to force Hillsborough County to create a process and pay a third party $6 million to distribute the money back out to the people they took it from. You could only imagine the mess we'd have in Walton County. Dude, Walton County can't handle much of anything competently. Could you imagine if they had planned to spend, this was supposed to generate $40 million a year. Imagine if, we had to fight this in 3 years from now. It was $120 million, and they had already planned $120 million worth of road improvements and maybe even borrowed money and bonded it. You could be looking at serious issues, and it is incumbent on us as citizens to demand accountability for this. I think at the next meeting, we should be demanding that the county attorney resign. This is the kind of mistake that is unacceptable. We need answers to get to the bottom of it. Who knew when they knew it? And the county attorney kept saying that DOR told them it was okay. I want to see a letter from Department of Revenue, and I know it doesn't exist, but I want to see a letter from them saying that it was okay to do this tax and that we were eligible, even though it clearly says we were not. This is a big deal. It just goes back to the corruption and the incompetence that we saw in the budgeting process. It's why we can't pay for nice things here, because even though we have so much money, more money per capita than any other county, we still, at the end of the day, can't even pay for basic things because we don't have a competently run government, and we right now don't have competent legal counsel either. So please join me to throw them all out in 2024. All the commissioners need to go because they are the ones who put the attorney in place, and then the attorney needs to go maybe before 2024 if there's enough public pressure. So join me in asking for all of these things and the Walton County Taxpayer Association, because we really are leading the charge to make Walton County better for everyone. Thank you.